Hello everyone, it is Aaron. Welcome to my LA2 review video and let's go discuss some phasors. Yes. Okay, so sabihin natin meron tayo time domain circuit. It could be anything. I'm just gonna use something simple like an RC circuit, no? May resistor, tas may capacitor. Kapag pupunta tayo sa frequency domain, we need to do a conversion, no? We need to convert our circuit into the frequency domain. And then from here, pwede na tayo gumawa ng kanyang analysis. So, Aaron, what exactly do we analyze in the frequency domain? It could be many things actually. We could analyze its voltage, tas may phase siya. These are all complex numbers, no? We can also get the current. We can also get the impedance. Other than that, we can also do some complex power na analysis. So, meron siyang real part, meron din siyang imaginary part. Now again, this is all unlocked under the frequency domain. If you want it to make some sense into the time domain, you can also do the reverse transform. Sabihin natin may voltage ka, may current or may impedance, you can convert it back to the time domain for it to make more sense in our world. The frequency domain, it's really just used for the maths, useful maths. I guess another one na pwede ko idagdag dito is kung ganito yung circuit natin sa time domain, we can convert it into frequency boxes like this. I don't think they are too strict about this, no? Nung nagsasagot ako ng exam dati, hindi ko na siya kino-convert to a box. I just leave it as is. Ang important lang dito is, can you do the conversion from the time domain to the frequency domain? And can you also do the reverse conversion, no? Okay, ano pa yung mga pwede ko i-discuss dito? Sige, mag-next page tayo dito. Guys, I heavily encourage na marunong kayo gumamit ng calculator. I don't think it's possible to pass the exam if you are either slow sa calculator or you don't know how to use it, no? So, maglalagay ako dito ng mga practice drills. Okay, ito. If hindi ka marunong paano gumamit ng complex calcu, pause the video, find any random video sa YouTube. For example, I use the 991EX na calcu. Pupunta ako sa YouTube, tapos magsa-search ako 991EX complex tutorial, no? Really important to, guys, kasi most of our computations here just always use the complex domain. So, sige. Let's do some practice drills. I just wanna see sino yung mga nakakagets ng calcu. Let's start with number 1. Sabihin natin ito yung number natin. 2 plus J3. Go to the complex mode. I want you to convert this into polar form. What is this answer? So 2 plus J3. Convert it. Ang nakuha ko dito is square root of 13 na magnitude at an angle of 56.3 or 56 degrees. Nakuha niyo naman yun, no? Ito. I also want you guys to practice this. Mag-store kayo ng values. I want you to store this value. Gawin mo siyang A. Store mo siya sa A. No? If hindi ka marunong paano mag-store ng values, again, get your calcu model, search mo siya sa YouTube, how to store values. Okay. Super useful siya sa mga solutions natin dito. Kasi puro stored values na lang ang gagamitin ko. It reduces the amount of errors in our computations. Next, sabihin natin in my next example, gagamit ako ng 4 angle 5. Ayusin ko lang yung 4 ko para mas clear. I want you to convert this into its rectangular form. So, 4 angle 5. Make sure na naka-degrees yung calcu mo. So, again, if hindi marunong, radians to degrees sa YouTube. Okay, ang rectangular form niya is 3.98 plus J na 0.34. Okay, again, I also want you to masanay. I-store mo siya as a value. Store mo siya as B. Okay? Gagamit ako ng example dito na ipagsasama mo itong lahat. So, make sure sinustore mo na siya right now. Okay, number 3. 1 over J times 6. Okay, convert mo siya into rectangular. Ano yung answer dito? So, ang rectangular equivalent niya is just minus J. Minus J6. Okay, again, store this as another variable. Store it as C. Okay, so meron na tayo dito tatlo, no? Tatlo na sila. Okay, for number 4, pagsama na natin sila. Dito ko na ikakatch. Sino yung mga hindi nagka-calcu-calcu na maayos? So, kunin mo yung parallel equivalence ng A and B, tapos isum mo siya sa series na C. Okay, so type mo lang siya sa calcu in just variable forms. A over B, A plus B, tapos C. Okay, ano yung rectangular version nito? So, in rectangular form, this is 1.781 minus J 4.883. Okay. Feeling ko you have the freedom to choose the number of decimals kasi nagsistore lang naman tayo ng values dito eh, no? Okay, so sana nakuha nyo na ito, no? Itong apat. Okay? You don't need to store anymore. Parang hindi na ako gagamit ng example na ganun. For the fifth example, ito. 1 over c multiplied to the 1 over a na ganito. And then, i-inverse mo tong part na ito. So, itong inverse na ito, nag-a-apply lang siya sa box na ito. Ano yung makukuha mong answer dito sa rectangular form? So, type lang guys. And I'm trying to catch people off early kung sino yung mga hindi nakakapag-calculate na maayos. So, I'm recommending, click off the video, find the YouTube video, go back here. Right? Okay, so ang nakuha kong answer dito is negative 0.186 plus j 0.2969. Yun. So, if you got all of this correct, pwede na kayo mag-proceed sa next part ng video. Okay. Pwede na ako mag-discuss ng mga actual theory dito. Alright, so Aaron, how do we do our conversions in the time domain versus frequency domain? Medyo straightforward lang siya. Let's start with our impedances. So sabihin natin, meron tayo ditong time domain, or sige, ibahin ko yung kulay. Meron tayo ditong time domain, tapos meron tayo ditong frequency domain. Alright. Kapag meron kang resistor, copy-paste lang siya sa frequency domain. Okay, hindi siya ina-overthink. Yung mga inductor, minumultiply natin siya na j omega. Tapos yung capacitor naman, yung impedance niya in the frequency domain is just measure reciprocal lang. 1 over j omega c. So, ito na yung cheat sheet nyo for all of your frequency domain conversions. May examples naman tayo dito, don't worry. Baka kasi nagtataka kayo, ba't ang dami-daming letters dito? May examples tayo dito guys, don't worry. Okay, next. Paano naman kapag sources, no? Alright, so sabihin natin meron ulit tayo dito, time domain versus frequency domain. Ibahin ko lang yung kulay. Yan. So, Aaron, what if my source is A cosine omega t plus B? Paano siya kino-convert? Kunin mo lang itong coefficient na ito. Divide mo siya by square root of 2. Itang ayusin ko nga lang sulat ko. A over square root of 2. Divide mo siya by square root of 2 Tapos yung angle niya, ito lang yun. Angle B. So, you notice na madami tayong in-ignore na information dito. We ignore the omega. We even ignore the cosine, no? We just focus on this and this. Ito yung ilalagay mo sa frequency domain. Ang omega naman is pumapasok lang siya dito sa mga inductor and sa mga capacitor. Alright? Nakakasunod naman, no? Now, what if hindi cosine ang binigay? Let's say, medyo toxic yung prof. Gusto nila sinusoidal yung function. Omega t plus t. So, paano to kino-convert into the frequency domain? Okay. Ang cheat sheet ko dito, again, just take the square root of 2, 1 over square root of 2 ng c, no? Yung angle mo, same lang siya. Meron ka pa din d, but because it is a sine, dahil may sine ka dito, subtract mo siya ng 90 degrees. Okay, and that's gonna be your angle dito. So, nakakasunod naman tayo dito, no? Baka magbo lang ng extra space dito so that we're all clear. Yan. So, for recap, resistors, copy-paste. Inductors, j omega L, you see, or yung capacitors mo, kung ito yung mga models nila, 1 over j omega c. Kapag mga sources naman, for example like this, meron ka dito a cosine omega t, just ignore this part. Focus ka lang sa a and sa b. Don't forget to divide it by square root of 2. Guys, super important, divide mo to by square root of 2. Magiging mali yung power computations mo if you forgot to do this step. No? Sa mga experts naman, they can skip this part. Again, it's only for experts. Pero recommend ko just for beginners and intermediate players, divide mo na siya by square root of 2 para lang safe tayo lahat. Okay, next. Yung C dito, for example, sine wave ito, it's literally the same conversion. You can ignore a lot of this part. Just focus on C and D. Divide mo by square root of 2. And because sine siya kanina, i-shift mo lang siya ng extra 90 degrees. Okay? Baka hindi ka naniniwala kung bakit to gumagana. Pwede mo siya i-try. For example, cosine na 90 is equal to sine na minus 90, so 0. Pwede rin naman cosine 270 is equal to sine na 180. Yan. So, pwede ka lang mag-test ng values. Gumagana naman siya ng ganito. Okay? So, proceed na tayo sa actual examples dito. Wow! Dependent source. Actually, sinasadya ko ito. Pansin ko kasi is sa mga tinuturo ko sa thumbs, kapag meron sila nakitang dependent source, parang nagsha-shutdown na yung utak nila. So, ginagawa ko na siyang standard practice. My examples are required to have a dependent source moving forward, even until LE2 and LE3. Yan. So, meron tayo ditong example. Ito yung input sinusoidal wave natin, no? So, babagsak mo lang siya dito. 13 sine 120 pi t. Okay, isa lang yung tanong. Find VOT. Alright, so meron tayo dito time domain circuit. What's the goal again? So if you have a time domain circuit, the first thing we need to do is convert it to the frequency domain. And the frequency domain na ginagamit natin dito is yung conversions na ito. Lahat ng mga loads natin gagawin ganitong formulas, plus yung mga sinusoidal sources natin gagawin natin ganito. Okay? Let's start with the sinusoidal source. Meron tayo ditong sine wave, no? So if it's a sine wave, ano ulit ginagawa? Sige, convert natin yung sine wave natin, VIT. Gawin natin siya 13. Yung sine wave, gagawin ko siyang cosine. Tapos meron tayo ditong 120 pi t. Ito. How do you convert a sine wave to a cosine? Yung cheat sheet natin kanina, subtract it by 90 degrees, no? So kung nag-subtract ka ng 90 degrees dito, you are going to get 30 minus 90, which is equal to negative 60 degrees. Alright, so mas madali na siya, no? Mas straightforward na yung conversion niya. So just ignore all of this. 13 over square root of 2, angle negative 60 degrees. Nakuha naman, no? So yun yung lalagay natin dito sa simula. 13 over square root of 2 at an angle of negative 60 degrees. Yan yung sinusoidal wave natin dito. Yan. Ano pa yung mga pwede nating gawin dito? Yung mga loads natin, let's start converting them, no? Convert them into the frequency domain. So, ito, tas ito. Drawing ko lang muna yung circuit. So, yung 2F natin dito, ano ginagawa? 1 over j omega c. So, 1 over j times, ang omega natin is ito, yung 120 pi. Bagsak mo lang siya dito. Tapos yung c natin is ito. Bagsak mo lang siya dito. Very plug and play ang unit na to, no? So, makakuha natin dito is negative j 1 over 240 pi. Alright, recommend ko guys, starting this early on, mag-store na tayo ng values. So, i-type mo to sa calculator, tapos i-store mo siya under A. So, sasabayin ko kayo. 13 over square root of 2 at an angle of negative 60, I'm storing it at A. Next, ito, i-store mo to at B. So, ito, store mo siya as B. Negative j times 1 over 240 pi. So, negative 1.32 something. Store ko siya as B. Alright. Ano pa yung mga pwede natin i-convert dito? Yung mga ganito, mga dependent sources, just leave it as is. Akala ko ba mag-ano tayo? Akala ko ba gagamitin natin ito? This is only applicable sa mga independent na sources natin, katulad nito. Pero kung dependent source siya, as is lang talaga siya, guys. So, 4Vx na ganito. Yung resistor natin dito na 5, copy-paste lang siya sa frequency domain. So, 5 lang siya na ganito. And then, meron pa tayo ditong inductor, no? Ang inductor natin, paano ulit yung inductance niya? So, ganito, no? J omega L. So, meron tayo dito, J omega L. J, omega natin na 120 pi, bagsak mo siya dito. Tapos, yung L natin na 6, lagay mo siya dito. So, this is gonna evaluate to 6 times 120, 720, no? So, J 720 pi. Sulat ko na siya dito. Alright, so kung may J, wait lang, parang hindi ko siya nasulat mais. J 720 pi. Now, what I want you to do, store mo na rin to sa calculator as C. So, lahat ng mga weird na numbers, sinustore ko na siya as C. Sinustore ko na siya as random variables, no? So, meron na tayo dito 3 vars. Var A, var B, var C. Ito, 5 ohms, madali lang naman yan i-type sa calcu. So, hindi ko na siya need-store. Ito rin, yung 3 ohms, no? Copy-paste lang yan. Okay, so, just a sanity check. How many yung sources natin? 1, 2. Ilan yung loads natin? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we have here 3 stored variables. So, check mo siya sa calcu. Alright, so, everything seems sound naman, no? Let's now proceed to the actual circuit analysis. Since nasa frequency domain na tayo, ang gagawin na natin dito is some standard circuit analysis techniques. I'm gonna use voltage division dito. So, the reason I chose this kasi it seems na in series lang naman yung current na ito. Okay, it's just two currents. Kung nandito ako sa node na to, and I'm trying to get Vx, one current goes here, one current goes here, I can apply voltage division. Okay, so how to do voltage division dito? Sabihin natin, I'll call this Vx. Ang Vx ko is equal to, start muna tayo sa resistor of interest. So, ito yung Vx natin. Resistor of interest is 3. Lalagay ko siya sa taas. Tapos, yung sum of resistances na dinadaanan ng source na to. So, CB and C3. So, lagay mo lang siya ng ganun. 3 plus B. And then, i-multiply mo siya ng voltage source natin, which in this case is A. So, bagsak mo lang yung A dito. Alright, so medyo type lang siya sa calc, no? So, 3 plus B times yung source natin na A. Alright, so maglalagay ako dito ng onting milestones just to check if tama yung, baka kasi may na-slip up sa calculator, baka may na-mistype dito. Ang nakuha ko dito in rectangular form is 4.599 minus J 7.958. Okay, so if you got this right, we can proceed. If you got it wrong, balikan mo ito. Baka may namali ka sa pag-type ng calcu. Okay? Alright, ang gagawin ko is, dahil ito yung nakuha kong value, it looks ugly, no? Again, if something starts looking ugly, ang instinct ko kaagad is, gusto ko na siya i-store as a value. So ito, i-store ko na siya as D. Okay? Yun. Bakit ko yung ginawa? So, sinasabi ko na yung voltage dito na Vx is effectively just D. So, D lang ito. And notice na yung Vx natin dito, pwede mo na siya i-update as D. So, magiging 4D na lang ito. So, punta tayo dito. May i-update ako dito. Yung dependent source ko, effectively, naging ano na lang siya, no? Naging 4D. So, ito. 4 times yung na-solve natin dito na D. Again, if medyo nakakalito yung part na yun, itong Vx natin, sinolve natin siya as D. So, Vx is equal to T. So, ito, 4D ito, literally naging ganito lang siya. Yan. Now, meron pa tayo dito 2 more stuff. Meron tayo dito 5 ohms, tapos meron tayo dito C. So, gawin lang natin yan. 5 ohms to. Tapos ito, C. I guess pwede ko na siya gawing box. Hindi naman sila ganun ka-strict sa mga kung box ba siya or kung inductor or whatever. You know, I honestly don't care. They only care about the process. They only care about the answer. Yan. Now, notice na ang node na ito, VOT ito, no? So, kung gin-ground ko ito, VO na yan. So, yun na lang din ang gagawin ko dito. I'm just gonna call this entire node here as VO. If you're having a difficult time visualizing it, sige, I'm gonna use a highlighter. Ito siya. That's the entire VO here. Now, our goal here is to do some nodal analysis, no? That's probably the easiest approach dito. So, sige, pag nodal tayo at nodal at VO. Right, so lahat ng currents natin na flowing outward, we are going to sum them. So, start muna tayo dito sa first current natin. Here we have 4D. Next, ano pa yung mga pwede natin i-add? So, ito, 4D. Ito siya. Next term natin is the current flowing here. So, that is just by Ohm's law, the voltage divided by the impedance or resistance. So, ito ay VO over 5. Next, yung current na nagpa-flow dito, it is just VO over C, no? So, VO to, tapos ito C. And then now we're gonna equate it equal to 0. So, that's our circuit. This is our equation. Ano yung sanity check, Aaron? Ilan yung loads natin? Tatlo, di ba? So, meron tayo dito, 1, 2, 3 currents. We have 3 currents. My nodal equation should have 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. 3 terms, 3 currents. The equation is correct. So, we can now proceed. No? Ano yung pwede natin gawin kapag ito yung nakikita natin? Firstly is, pwede ko ito i-factor out. What? If a-factor out natin yung V out, actually. Yan. So, maglagay ka ng space dito. Ito ay V out. Yan. So, ito, pwede mo siya isipin na pag tinanggal mo to, meron pa ditong 1, no? So, yun yung ilalagay mo dito. Meron ka dito 1 over 5, meron ka dito 1 over c. And if hindi ka sure kung tama yung ginawa mo, try mo siya i-reverse process. Kung binalik mo itong V out dito, makukuha mo is ito and ito, no? So ito siya. Equal siya saan? If ginawa ko is may 4D ako dito, gusto ko siya ilipat sa kabilang side. I'm trying to solve for V out eh. So, kung subtract ako ng 4D on both sides, magka-cancel itong dalawa. Ang may iwan dito is may negative 4D, no? So, negative 4D dito. Right. And if I did some extra algebra dito, ang V out ko is equal to, ano gagawin natin dito, Arden? Divide mo lang okay, wait lang. Baka na-overwhelm kayo kung ano ito. Isipin mo na lang na isang malaking variable lang to. Sabihin na lang natin x, no? So, just divide x on both sides. XVO is equal to negative 4D. So, mag-divide ka lang ng x on both sides. Yun yung gagawin natin dito. So, literally, ilipat mo lang siya sa baba. So, meron ka dito 1 over 5 plus 1 over c. Actually, ito. Yung mga calculators sa complex mode, very prone sila sa stock error. It's a very annoying thing to deal with, yes. So, may nakita ko na ginagawa ni Sir Chicho. Minsan, ginagamit niya is like this. 1 over 5 plus 1 over c. Wait lang. 1 over c, tapos naglalagay siya ng minus sign dito. Raised to negative 1. So, effectively, itong part na ito, equal lang siya sa 1 over this part here. Okay, these are all the same. No, they're all the same. So ngayon, punta ka lang sa calculator mo and literally input mo lang to. So 4D, ano pa? 1 over 5 plus 1 over c. Okay, so yung nakuha ko dito in rectangular form is negative 92.34 plus J158.9. Okay, so ito yung milestone natin. If you got this right, nakakasunod ka, no? If you got it wrong, maybe may namali ka sa pag-input sa CalQ or, ayun, sa nodal equation baka may mali kang sign. Balikan mo lang siya as early from there. Pero ayun, ito yung nakuha kong answer. So if we're all in the same page, proceed na tayo. Naka-rectangular form ito, di ba? Kapag voltages and currents kasi, we usually want them to be in phasor form so that we can do the reverse transformation. So, gagawin natin is, convert this number into the ano tawag doon? Phasor transformation, yung ganitong mode. Magnitude and phase form, yun hinahanap ko. Convert it into magnitude and phase form. So, literally, convert mo lang siya. So, ang nakuha ko dito sa conversion ko is, VO is equal to 183.8 at an angle of 120.1 degrees. Alright. Ito na ba yung final answer natin? So, pwede ko na ba siya i-convert ng wait lang. Pwede ko na ba siya i-convert as 183 cosine blah 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 omega t plus 120 degrees? And then, kung binax ko na yung answer, yun na yung expression ko in the time domain. No? Okay. Wrong. Ano yung ginawa natin sa pinakasimula? What do we do to our sinusoidal sources ba? So, yung sa sinusoidal sources natin, nag-divide tayo by square root of 2. So, that means when we are doing the reverse transformation, we need to multiply this number again by square root of 2 before we can convert it to the time domain. So, basically, ito yung recommend ko gawin mo. Kunin mo itong number na ito, yung sa calculator mo. Kunin mo lang yung magnitude part. Sa calculator, meron ditong absolute, no? Absolute function. So, pwede mo ipasok yung complex number mo dito and makukuha mo lang dito is yung itong part na ito na wala yung angle. So, yun. Absolute sign. So, ang nakuha ko dun is 183.8. And then, ang next na gagawin mo dito is yung 183.8, i-multiply mo siya ng square root of 2 so that you can get the original signal natin. So, kung minultiply mo siya ng square root of 2, ang makukuha mo dito is 259.9. So, yun. 259.9 cosine. Ano yung natin? Ano yung omega natin? Ang omega natin sa pinakasimula is 120 pi. Whatever your frequency was at the very start must be exactly the same as the frequency sa pinakadulo. So basically, same lang ito dito. 120 pi. Tapos don't forget the t. Kasi kung wala siya t, constant number lang yan. It's a DC signal. Okay, and ano yung angle natin dito? Ang angle natin dito is 120.1 degrees. Now, since V out ang sinasolve natin dito, naka-volts yung answer natin. So, yun. Gawin ko na siya VOT. This is all equal to this. And ito na yung final answer natin sa item na ito. Ano pa yung mga pwede ko i-clarify dito? Saan aral nilalagay yung units? Pwede mo siya ilagay dito. Yun yung nasa slides. Sa reference book ng 1, 2, 3, linalagay nila yung units dito. I honestly don't think it matters too much, no? If you get the correct answer, you get the correct answer, no? Alright, sa mga nalilito ulit, paano ulit nakuha ito? Kunin mo lang is 183.8, multiply mo siya by square root of 2. Kung kanina, nag-divide kayo by square root of 2 in your transformation, you reverse the process. You now multiply it by square root of 2, and you will now get this answer here. Alright, so medyo okay pa ba sa part na ito? Okay, yes. Okay, I understand naman. It's pretty overwhelming. Sanay tayo sa unit 1 na puro numbers nakikita natin. Tapos ngayon, letters na lang siya. Malaking convenience kasi yung mga letters, guys, kasi nakakabawas siya ng errors. So, recommend ko talaga, practicein nyo na yung pag-store ng values, no? Right. So, for recap, ano ginawa natin dito? It's literally this flowchart applied to a problem. We do a transformation in the frequency domain, mag-a-analyze tayo, so we're gonna get the voltage output sa case natin, and sa pinakadulo, nag-reverse process tayo sa time domain. So kung dito, nag 1 over square root of 2 tayo, sa pinakadulo, minultiply natin siya ng square root of 2. Okay, so that's exactly what we did here. And nag-divide tayo by square root of 2. Nag-analysis tayo using voltage division and nodal, which are valid in the frequency domain. At sa pinakadulo, nag-multiply tayo ng square root of 2. We got this answer here. Alright, so ano yung mga pwede ko gawin? Okay, so mukhang may problem tayo dito on power. So that's the next thing na gusto ko i-discuss dito. Mag-discuss tayo ng power triangle. Super important nito, guys, kasi the future subjects, they love to discuss complex power talaga. So, try na natin siya intindihin ngayon. Sa unit 1, ang power natin is defined as voltage times current. You know, there's nothing fancy here. Ngayon, we're gonna define a new variable S. Ito yung complex power natin. So basically, meron siya real part and imaginary part. And now, it is defined as V and I. Mali ito. May kulang pa. Kailangan mo siya i-conjugate. Okay, yung currents natin, kino-conjugate natin siya. We're taking the difference between yung angle ng voltage and yung angle ng current. Yun lang talaga yung point nito. Sa calculator, ang conjugate, parang may conjugate function siya na pag ganito. No? So, lalagay mo yung I dito, tapos lalagay mo yung V dito. That is equal to your S. Okay, so how do we visualize this? Lalakihan ko na yung triangle so that we're all in the same page. Ayan. So, sabihin natin, meron tayo ditong S. Ito siya. Kapag nag-multiply ka ng voltage and ng conjugated na current, yung S natin, nandito siya. So, ito, tawag dito is apparent power. Yep. Now, yung complex number natin, meron siyang two parts. Yung real part and yung imaginary part. Yung real part natin dito is yung wattage yung power na familiar sa atin, which is real power. Yeah. And then, yung bagong dumagdag sa real power dito is we extended it into a 2D plane. So now we also have imaginary power. And tawag dito is Q. Q, which stands for reactive na power. Yan. So I guess another way you can visualize this is S is also equal to P plus JQ. Basta lagyan mo lang to ng imaginary number. Now, ano pa yung mga pwede natin malaman dito? Bakit nga pa ganito yung letters natin? No? Sobrang arbitrary ba yan? Kasi meron tayo dito P, Q, tapos meron tayo dito S. Kung pumunta tayo sa alphabet, meron tayo ditong P, Q, tapos R. Yung R kasi, occupied na siya by resistance, no? So, hindi na siya pwede gamitin as a variable for computations. And nagkataon na yung sa simula, sinabi natin P is equal to V and I. So, wala. Dito na lang nila in-extend. We take the real power, extend natin siya to the imaginary axis. We'll call this the reactive power, no? So, ito real, tapos ito reactive. And then, since occupied na si R, yung magnitude ditong dalawa, siya na yung magiging apparent power natin. Yan. So, this is measured in wattage. This is measured in volt amperes reactive. This one is measured in voltamperes. Voltamperes kasi we're multiplying voltage and current. So, ito siya. Okay. May kulang pa yung triangle natin dito. We have here 3 sides but no angle. Ang angle natin is defined from this origin at ang opposite niya is itong reactive power. So, equal siya sa cosine inverse ng power factor. Ito yung angle natin dito. Ito yung difference natin in voltage and current na angles. Tapos, minsan, pwede siya maging plus, pwede siya maging minus. What? Pwede pala yun? Ito lang. Gawin ko tong plus, gawin ko to minus. So, kailan siya magiging plus, kailan siya magiging minus? It's actually dependent kung ano yung load mo. So, sabihin natin, ang load mo is inductive, naglalag siya, then magiging positive to. Right? That's your cheat sheet. Kailangan maging positive siya kapag inductive. Now, what if yung load mo is mostly capacitive? Parang ganito. Yan. If it's mostly capacitive, lagay ko na nga lang din yung letters dito. If your load is mostly capacitive, magiging negative ito. Ayan. Okay, navisualize niyo ba kung ano ibig sabihin kapag nag-negative ito? So, kung positive yung angle natin, pag ganito siya, so positive yung angle. If naging negative siya, because your system started acting more like a capacitor, effectively, if i-flip mo lang yung triangle na ito, so magiging ganito na siya. Tapos yung angle mo is minus. It's literally just this. So, hindi siya masyado yung overthink. It's gonna point upwards if your load is inductive, if your load is lagging, if your system is leading or it is capacitive, ganito yung tsura ng triangle niya. Okay? So dito, yung reactive power natin is positive. Ang reactive power natin dito is negative kasi negative yung angle niya. And notice na yung real part natin, yung power dito, it's just exactly the same. It doesn't matter kung lagging or leading, same lang yung real power. Ang magbabago lang dito is yung sa reactive. No? So sa inductive, as is siya. Tapos sa capacitive naman, magne-negative lang ito at magne-negative rin yung angle na to. Ayun lang naman. Alright, so before we proceed to some examples dito, wait lang, mag-extra page ako. Bago tayo mag-proceed sa examples dito, I want to catch the people who don't know how to use the calculator. Again, mag-sample drills tayo. No? For my first example, 2 plus J3, I want you to conjugate this number. Wait lang, i-conjugate mo to. So basically, sa calculator nyo, if hindi kayo marunong mag-conjugate sa calculator, again, click off the video for now. Punta ka sa YouTube. Tapos, for example, ang calculator model ko is 991EX. Isa-search ko 991EX conjugate. So, magkakaroon ng guides kung paano ko makukuha yung conjugate part ng complex calcu. It looks something like this. Conjugate, tapos ipapasok ko yung number na to. 2 plus J3. Alright? And kung in-evaluate ko ito, sabihin natin, give me the rectangular form of this. This is gonna be 2 minus J3. So, alam mo na nagawa mo siya ng tama kung nung kinonjugate mo siya, ito yung nakuha mong answer. Ang sanity check ko dito is mag-opposite sign siya. Yung reactive part natin dito, or sorry, tama naman. Yung reactive part natin dito, or yung imaginary part, yung may J na number, multiply mo lang siya ng -1, ito yung makukuha natin. Now, I don't recommend that you do that manually. I recommend that you know how to use the conjugate number because we're gonna get some really bad variables dito sa dulo and then it just becomes difficult to multiply that by -1. I recommend learn how to do the conjugate sa calcu. Second drill, 4 angle 5 degrees. So, naka-degrees tayo, hindi radians. Oh my God, guys. Kapag naka-radians yung calculator nyo sa exam, accidentally, I don't know what your partial points are gonna be. Sobrang magiging off yung power computations mo, sobrang magiging off yung impedance calculations mo. So, recommend ko na set it to degrees intentionally if you really need to. Now, ang i-ask ko sa iyo dito is, ito yung answer, or sorry, ito yung question natin for angle 5 degrees. I want you to convert this into polar form, no? Ayan, tapos naka-conjugate siya. So, dapat ang makukuha mong answer dito is, sige, step by step nga natin. Sa calculator, conjugate function, bagsak mo to, for angle 5 degrees, you should get 4 at an angle of -5 degrees. So, if you got this, and you got this, proceed to the next part of the video. If you did not, balikan yung calculator. Okay? Alright, so buti nag-next page ako dito kasi I'm gonna discuss some extra theory. Yun. Balikan natin yung sa sinabi ko kanina. From the unit 1, P is equal to V times I, di ba? So ngayon, ang goal natin is complex. So sabihin natin meron tayo dito S is equal to VI conjugate. Na ganito, no? Alright. Let's say may ano tayo dito. Simple example lang, no? I have here a load. Tapos meron ako ditong voltage na 10 at an angle of 2 degrees. And sabihin natin, meron ako ditong load, tapos ang kanyang impedance is 3 plus J4. Alright. Ito recommend ko gawin. Punta ka sa calculator mo. I want you to store this value. So, i-store natin ito as A. So, type mo lang siya. 10 angle 2. After that, store it as A. Mag-store kayo ng values kaysa. Really important yan. And then after that, ito, I want you to store this as B. So, 3 plus J times 4. So, store mo siya as B. Okay. Now, what if I want you to get the current? So, ito yung I natin. Equal siya saan? By Ohm's law, no? V is equal to ZI. So, if I want to get the current, divide ko lang siya by Z. So, B over Z. So, ito, punta dito, ito punta dito. So, literally, it's just A over B, no? A over B. So, yun, literally, type mo lang siya sa calcu. A over B. And then, after that, ano yung makakuha mong answer dito? Meron ka makukuhang 1.255 minus J 1.557. Okay, medyo ugly pa siya na number. Pwede mo siya i-store, pwede hindi. Pero sige, I'm just gonna prove a point here. If we want to do this, yung V tas I conjugate, kunin mo yung voltage across this load. So, we're trying to do a power analysis at this singular load, no? Ano yung voltage natin? Ito siya. Across these two terminals, it is A. So, literally, plug-in mo lang siya dito as A. That's gonna be A dito. And then after that, dahil gumamit tayo ng conjugate dito, sa calculator, I'm gonna use the conjugate function. No? Okay. And then after that, ano yung current natin? Ang current natin, dinefine natin siya as A over B. So literally, ipasok mo lang siya dito. Yan. So, evaluate mo nga to sa calculator. So, use the conjugate function. Tapos after that, A over B. Ayun. So, malinis yung answer natin dito. Ang nakuha kong answer dito is 12 plus J16. Okay, wala siyang decimals. Yan. Now, again, how do we visualize this? So, all of our stuff here can be represented by a triangle. Let's try to interpret. Since positive ito, we're gonna use paakyat. Paakyat yung triangle natin. So, ganito yung itsura niya. Yung 12 natin na real part, it's always gonna be placed here. Yung imaginary part natin na ito, pupunta siya dito. And again, pataas siya kasi pataas yung, positive yung second term natin. No? Alright. Now, if you have this rectangular expression, I want you to convert this into polar form. So, nung kinonvert ko siya, may nakuha akong answer dito. 20 at an angle of 53 degrees. No? So, saan ito ilalagay? Itong 20, ilalagay mo siya dito sa hypotenuse. Tapos itong 53 degrees, ilalagay mo siya dito. Yan yung angle mo. So, this is gonna be 20. Tapos itong angle natin dito is 53.13 degrees. Yun. So basically, there is always two ways to represent your power. The first one is yung rectangular version. Ito yung real power mo, tapos ito yung reactive power mo. The second way to represent it is you get your S at an angle of theta. So in this case, it is 20 at an angle of 53. These are both valid ways to represent your power. And I recommend na familiar ka on doing it both ways kasi sa computations natin mamaya, I'm gonna use this and I'm also gonna use this lang or this lang. Okay? So ano pa yung mga pwede natin makuha dito? Yung P natin is equal to 12 watts. Tapos yung Q natin is equal to 16 bars. So, literally ito lang yan. Bagsak mo lang siya dito as is. No? Right. Bago tayo mag-proceed sa problem, Aaron, what if binaliktad ko to? What if binigay ko yung S, binigay ko yung voltage, pero ang gusto ko naman hanapin is current. Okay, yan yung magandang tanong. Kasi yan yung, ganyan din yung mga possible na pwede lumabas sa exam. So sabihin natin yung S natin given siya as 20 at an angle of 10 degrees. No? Hindi ko na muna linalagay yung units. I want you to just understand it in bare bones, no? In basics form. So sabihin natin ang bagong load natin is like this. Okay. So meron tayo ditong voltage na example. 5 at an angle of 23 degrees. Okay. Meron tayo ditong power at this load. Ito siya. It seems to be as lagging power, no? Kasi positive yung angle. And then we have here voltage na ganito. So sabihin natin, may current ako na pa ganito. Paano hinahanap ang current? Sige, visualize muna natin siya. Every time you see a power and you see a voltage, you can always go back to its triangle, no? Kung may nakita kang power, pwede mo na siya convert as this. So, itong part na ito, since naka phasor form tayo, lalagay mo ito dito, gawin mo ito 20. Tapos itong angle, lalagay mo siya dito, 10 degrees. Yon. Okay, ano pa yung next na alam natin? We know that S is equal to VI conjugate. Correct? So what if, yun nga, gusto natin i-solve yung current, di ba? So ang ginagawa natin dito is, ililipat natin yung voltage sa baba, tapos dahil may conjugate ka sa right side, you can do a double conjugate. So i-conjugate mo to, tapos i-conjugate mo to. So that implies na yung current natin equal siya sa S over V, tapos yung expression na to, i-conjugate mo like this. Okay? So ayan, gumagamit pa rin tayo dito ng conjugate sa calculator, no? So, evaluate nga natin siya as is. What exactly is itong current na I? So, yung I natin, equal siya sa S over V, no? So, yung S natin, pupunta dito, yung V natin pupunta dito. We have here 20 at an angle of 10 degrees. Yung baba natin is 5 at an angle of 23 degrees. Kung mando ko lang siya na maayos. Yan. And then, do not forget, kailangan mo siya i-conjugate. Okay, very important to guys. The moment you forget to conjugate it, your computations are gonna be so far off. So please, be careful sa part na ito. So type nga natin to sa calculator. So pwede mo rin siya gawin as conj like this. Just type in, plug and play lang. Plug and play. 20 at an angle of 10, 5 at an angle of 23. So ang makukuha kong answer dito in rectangular is pretty ugly. No, it's about 3 point something something. Wait lang. 3.89 plus J 0.89. Okay. Medyo ugly siya. I'm gonna ignore that. Itong, kung ano nakuha mo dito, convert mo siya into polar form. So, convert mo siya into polar form. You may R and may theta. So, ang nakuha ko dito is I is equal to 4 at an angle of 13 degrees. So, make sure nakuha mo siya ng tama. Kapag ito, kinonvert mo in polar form, this is 4 at an angle of 13 degrees. Medyo familiar ba yung number na to? Actually, dinesign ko na yung problem na to. Ito yung sagot niya. Kasi, April 13, April 13, ito yung exam date. What? Ayan. Actually, by coincidence rin, April 13, ito birthday ko. Wow. Fun facts. Okay, sige. Proceed na nga tayo sa problem solving. Meron tayo ditong building. So, meron tayo kinonect na tatlong loads, tapos nakaparallel sila. And then after that, meron pa tayo ditong input voltage na 200. So, it is a 100% word problem, no? They don't even give you a circuit model. Actually, kung ganun, guys, if wala sila binigay na circuit model, you're not restricted to, alam mo yun, have a completely circuitless solution. Recommend ko pa rin is mag-drawing tayo ng circuit so that we are at least able to visualize the problem, di ba? So, sige, try nga natin siya gawin. Meron tayo ditong input voltage na 200. So, start muna tayo doon, no? So, i-input natin dito 200 RMS. That just means 200 at an angle of 0. Or pwede rin, ignore mo na rin siya. Kapag 0 degrees yung angle, you can just keep it as is. Sige, ilalagay ko na lang siya for completion, no? Tapos, meron tayo dito tatlong loads. So, i-connect ko muna siya ng ganito. Ayan. Yung first load natin dito, well, 3 loads in parallel siya. So literally, i-connect natin siya in parallel sa voltage source na ito. So meron tayo dito ang first load, tapos meron tayo dito second load, meron tayo dito third load. Iba-ibahin ko na yun yung kulay so that we are all in the same page. So meron tayo dito load 1, meron tayo ditong load 2, tapos meron tayo ditong load 3. Ayan. Okay. Every time na may binibigay na power, every time na magbibigay sila ng power, you can always represent them in their respective triangles. Correct? So basically, itong first part natin dito, yung line 1 or yung kulay red, meron tayo dito 2,000 volt amperes at 0.8 power factor na lagging. Okay, ito, naglalag siya, di ba? So, automatically, yung triangle natin dito is paakyat. So, pataas siya. So, meron tayo dito, tapos ito, 2,000 volt amperes. Saan ulit nilalagay ang volt amperes? Balik tayo sa basics natin. Ito siya, no? PA dito sa part na yan. So, basically, this part here, yung 2,000 volt amperes, lalagay mo lang siya dito. 2,000. Kung maayos ng sulat ko. Teka. 2K. Ayan. Now, ano yung angle niya? Every time may nakita kang power factor, ang shortcut ko dito is, you can get the angle by doing cosine inverse, tapos kung ano man yung power factor na to, which is 0.8. Now, is it positive or is it negative? Kapag lagging to, it is an inductor. And sinabi natin kanina na if it is an inductor, positive yung angle natin. So, yun yung ilalagay ko dito sa loob ng triangle na to. This is gonna be cosine inverse 0.8. Okay? Next, ano yung mga pwede natin makuha dito? Yung sa second line natin, 1620 watts, 0.9 power factor leading. Sige, drawing natin siya. Ito naman, dahil leading ito, it is capacitive. And if it is capacitive, yung triangle natin ay bumabaliktad. No? So, ayun, magne-negative siya. So, babaliktad yung triangle natin. Itong 1620 dito, kung ito-drawing natin siya, ganito siya. Yan. Since nasa wattage ito, saan ulit linalagay ang watts? This is just P, no? Yung P natin, linalagay siya dito sa horizontal part. Hindi necessarily sa baba, linalagay siya sa flat horizontal part. So, this 1620 watts, lalagay natin siya dito. Right? Ito yung wattage niya. And then, ang angle natin is, dahil sinabi natin it is leading, it is capacitive, bumaliktad. Yan. For a capacitive na load, negative yung magiging angle natin. So, basically, gumanon siya. Negative na angle. Right? So, ang kukunin natin dito is negative cosine inverse ng power factor. So, sige. Ang power factor natin dito is 0.9. So, we just write, again, negative cosine inverse. Tapos yung power factor natin na 0.9, lagay mo siya dito. Yun. Ano pa yung mga pwede natin gawin? Ito. 500 vars. What does cap mean? Cap is a shortened term for capacitive. So again, sinabi ko na capacitive siya, di ba? If it is going to be capacitive, it means na it's not gonna point upwards, it's gonna point downwards. Right? Every time you have a capacitive na load, magne-negative yung angle niya, so effectively, babagsak siya. And kapag capacitive lang siya, tapos wala siyang real power, it's just a straight line, so zero yung horizontal niya, it's a straight line going downwards. Ito yung capacitive natin na circuit. So, ilalagay natin siya dito. 500 vars capacitive, points like this. So, lalagay ko na siya pag ganon. No. This is gonna be 500. So, lalagay ko lang siya dito. Minus J500. Yan. Literally like this. If this is unsettling for you, sige, lagay natin yung real part niya. 0. 0 lang ang real part niya. So, nakakasunod naman tayo lahat, no? Alright, so meron tayo dito 3 triangles. Ito yung triangle na walang horizontal part, so it's just a straight line. Anong ginagawa natin dito? Yung goal natin kanina was, I wanted you to be comfortable at representing it in this format or in the hypotenuse tapos angle na format, di ba? Now, notice na yung isa dito is already in that form. So, sobrang dali na lang nito. Ito naman, technically, rectangular na rin ito. 0 yung horizontal, tapos meron siyang vertical na ganito. Madali din ito. Ito na lang yung problem natin, yung nasa gitna. How do we convert this into something that's more easy to work with? Gusto ko, kukunin ko na lang itong hypotenuse na ito. Is there an easy way of getting it? No. Sabihin natin, gumamit tayo ng SOHCAHTOA. No? So, sabihin natin, hypotenuse ito, di ba? At meron tayo dito isang adjacent. Ano yung trigonometric identity na gumagamit ng adjacent and gumagamit ng hypotenuse? So, cosine theta. Yeah, ka. So, ka. TOA. So, adjacent over hypotenuse. And now, hypotenuse ang gusto natin i-solve. So, isa-swap lang natin itong dalawa. A at a cosine theta. Ano nga ba yung theta natin? Ito siya, di ba? So, kung pinlogin mo to sa calculator, may makukuha tayong answer. So, sige nga. Wait lang. Tinakpan ko pala yung A, my bad. Ang A natin dito is 1620. 1620 cosine at an angle of cosine inverse na may negative dito. Tapos, 0.9. Ano yung answer dito, guys? 1620 cosine, negative cosine inverse, tapos 0.9. Okay, so ang nakuha ko dito answer is 1800. Ano ulit isinolve natin dito? Sinwap natin yung hypotenuse and yung cosine, di ba? So, ito yung hypotenuse natin. It is 1800. Alright, so now we have, madali na siya, di ba? Meron tayo dito hypotenuse, tapos angle. Meron tayo dito hypotenuse, tapos angle. Meron tayo dito rectangular, which is ito lang. Pwede na natin siya gamitin for our computations. Ano ulit ang pinapasolve dito? We want to get the current of each load. So let's go with our strategies. If meron tayo ditong S is equal to VI conjugate, no? That means yung I natin is equal to S over V conjugate. Ito yung magiging answer natin dito. So, how do we work with this? Start muna tayo with each load, no? Meron tayo dito Z1. Sige, maglalagay na nga ako dito ng current directions. Ito yung gusto natin i-solve, no? I1, I2, tapos I3. Yun. Using this formula, literally ang gagawin lang natin, if I want to get I1, lagay ko lang yung subscript na to, gamitin ko yung S1. So, S1 nito. And since parallel lang naman sila, they're all using 200 volts na voltage. So, 200 volts to, 200 volts to, 200 volts to. Super straightforward lang naman, di ba? So, you can just ignore this part. Focus ka lang dito sa part na ito. Ang Z1 natin is yung triangle na ito. Ito, gagamitin mo siya dito sa taas. Tapos gagamitin mo yung 200 volts dito sa baba. Literally yun. Very plug and play lang siya na problem. So, sige. Gawin natin yan. Yung I1 ko, equal siya saan? Conjugate ng magnitude na 2K at an angle of, ang angle natin is ito. Cosine inverse 0.8. Okay? I-divide natin siya by yung value natin dito ng voltage. Since parallel lang naman sila lahat, 200 volts rin ito. Again, kung angle 0, same lang siya as 200 volts. So, babagsak mo ito dito. 200 ito. Tapos ito, naka-conjugate. So, kung naka-conjugate siya, sa calculator, this is using the conjugate na function. Tapos, plug-in mo siya as this. Ano yung makukuha niyong answer dito, guys? So, 2,000 at an angle of cosine inverse 0.8. Tapos, meron ako dito 200. Okay, malinis yung nakuha ko ditong rectangular. This is, ano nga ba? 8 plus J6. Yan, 8 plus J6 siya. Ay, wait lang. Okay, mali. My bad. Nung tinype ko siya sa calculator, ito lang linagay ko. Nakalimutan ko ipasok siya sa conjugate function. Okay, I'm catching my errors early. So, dapat, nung linagay ko siya sa conjugate, ang makukuha kong answer dito should be minus 8 minus J6. Okay, so, if you guys are getting some errors like that, make sure to catch it early na kasi nagka-cascade yung errors na. So, yan. Input mo sa calculator na maayos. So, dapat 8 minus J6 ang sagot dito. Alright, this is in rectangular form. Again, if we are solving for currents, mas useful sa mga engineers is yung polar form na sagot. So, convert this into polar form. So, ito, our data. Okay, so yung nakuha kong answer dito is equal siya sa 10 minus, ano nga ba? 10 amperes at an angle of negative 36.86 degrees. Okay? So, yun yung first answer natin dito. Whoa! And we have one current noun. We need to get the current of each load. Okay. Very spam heavy lang naman yung formula. So ngayon, if I want to get the current at I2, no? Since parallel lang naman sila, 200 volts screen ito. So ano voltage dito, yun na rin voltage dito. And, ayun, I want to get I2, di ba? Ignore ko to. I'll focus on this triangle, yung kulay orange. I'm going to use subscript 2. So basically, I2 is equal to the power 2, which is yung power triangle na ito. And then, ayun, don't make the same mistake that I did. Nakalimutan ko siya i-conjugate. So, ayun. Yung I2 natin dito, equal siya saan? Dahil kinuha na natin yung hypotenuse format niya, I'm gonna use that. Hypotenuse format, so 1,800 at an angle of negative 0.09. So, sige. Type it in as is. 1,800 at an angle of negative cosine inverse 0.9. No? And then, same lang naman ang voltage niya. It is all 200 volts, which is this. So, divide mo rin siya by 200 volts. Okay. Don't forget, conjugate. Yun. Ano yung magiging answer natin dito? Kung tinype ko siya sa calcu. Conjugate. Unahin ko na nga yung conjugate. Baka mamali ko pa. 1,800 at an angle of minus cosine inverse 0.9. 200. Tapos ito. Super critical guys na hindi nyo minamali ito Dapat kung plus to, plus siya. Kung minus to, minus siya. Nagiging mali kasi yung answer mo eh. There's actually a sanity check for this later. Sige, wait lang. Try natin mamaya. Nung tinype ko ito sa calculator, right? Tinype ko siya sa calculator, naka-rectangular siya, na medyo ugly yung sagot, parang may 8.1 tas 3.9J. Gawin ko siyang polar form kasi current ang sinusolve natin. So, ang nakuha kong answer dito is 9 amperes at an angle of 25.84 degrees. Yan na yung answer natin dito na pangalawa. Yon. We are 2 down! Yes! Okay, so basically, tapos na to. Isang current na lang ang need natin hanapin, no? Para tapos na tayo sa part 1. Ha? Part 1 pa lang yun? Wait lang. So, ang may iwan na lang dito is ito, si negative J500. It's the same idea, no? I want to get the current here. The voltage here is 200 volts kasi parallel lang. So, we can ignore this. Focus na tayo sa triangle na ito. I'm gonna use the power triangle number 3, which is this, yung hindi mo ang triangle. Tapos yung current mo na I3. And tapos plug and play lang siya sa formula, no? So, ito. Let's go. Ang I3 natin is equal sa ito. Yung complex power natin dito, literally, lagay mo na lang siya dito. Technically, rectangular form na to, no? So, wala pala yung plus dito. Rectangular form na ito. So, I'm just gonna put it here. That's gonna be S, which is minus J 500, no? Minus J 500. Tama ba yung pagsulat ko ng 500? Parang hindi siya tama. 500. Ayan. Minus J 500. Tapos yung voltage natin is same voltage here. So, same lang siya dito, same lang siya dito. It's parallel, so they're all the same. No? J 200. Na ganito. Don't forget, conjugate. Hindi ba conjugate yung ano? Conjugate yung toothpaste. Hindi ko talaga alam ano sinasabi ko minsan. Okay, sige. Conjugate ng minus J times 500. Tapos ito, 200. Ang nakuha ko ditong answer is J 2.5. Which is equal sa, in polar form, 2.5 amperes at an angle of 90 degrees. So now we have 3 currents, no? We have here the current na I1, ito, current na I2, ito, and current na I3, ito. So 3 na yung currents natin, tapos na tayo sa part 1. Woo! Okay, number 2, get the total power and the current being supplied from the system. So we're just gonna reuse the same circuit now. Is there an easy way of doing this? Okay, baka magtaka kayo. Kapag series and parallel kasi medyo nag-iingat tayo no kung ano yung pwede i-add na voltage or ano i-add na current. Ito yung shortcut. It doesn't matter if your loads are in series or if your loads are in parallel. The total power is always just going to be the sum of it all, no? I don't think there's a formula na gumagamit ng ganito. Yung parallel na power. No, this does not exist. Literally, kung ano yung power mo dito, ano power mo dito at ano power mo dito, i-add mo lang sila lahat. Yun yung magiging total power mo. Okay? So basically, kunin mo lang yung tatlong power triangle na ito. Or actually, ang gagawin ko na lang, ika-copy ko na nga lang ito. Para mas madali sa buhay ko. Ayoko na mag-scroll dyan ulit. Alright, for number 2, let's get that total power, no? So, ito siya. And then, pwede natin i-visualize yung circuit like this. Isang load na lang siya. So, isipin mo na, i-imagine mo lang na kinambine na natin siya in parallel. Naging isang load na lang siya. We don't need to do that. We don't need to compute the parallel part. We literally just add these three powers, no? Okay, and then meron tayo ditong I total kasi isa-solve natin to mamaya. Okay? So, 200 pa rin ito. Yun, since angle 0 siya kanina, in-ignore ko na yung angle na 0. Same lang naman siya dito. Alright, so basically, all you need to do, sum mo ito itong power, sum mo siya dito, sum mo siya dito. So, what does it look like? So, meron tayo ditong S na total equal siya sa first power natin, which is 2,000 at an angle of cosine inverse 0.8. And then after that, i-add natin siya sa power na ito. So, ang hypotenuse niya is 1,800 at an angle of negative cosine inverse. Super important talaga ng mga negative and positive na yun, guys. Tapos after that, ito, yung power nito, lagay mo siya dito. So, meron kang minus J500. Alright? So, nakasunod naman tayo lahat dito, no? So, it's just, if tatlo yung loads mo, tatlo yung power mo, tatlo yung terms mo. Okay? Good sanity check, diba? And after that, plug in mo na to sa calculator as is. So, 2,000 at an angle of cosine inverse 0.8. Then after that, 1,800 angle negative cosine inverse 0.9. Then after that, minus J times 500. Oh my God, hindi ko pala to sinabi kanina. Baka kasi nag-error ito sa calculator, no? So, ang usual na ginagawa ko is I times 500 na ganito. I should have explained that earlier. Pero sige, nung inadapt ko na itong tatlo, may nakuha ako ditong 2 parts, actually. Yung S total ko, equal siya sa 3,220. At ang imaginary part niya is negative J 84.6. This is in volt amperes. No? Now, since it is negative, pwede ko sabihin na capacitive siya. Okay, the sister concept for this is, kapag naging positive to, this is inductive. Yan. So, meron na tayo dito ang answer. Actually, ito na yun. Assist na siya. So, pwede ko na ito i-box. Ayan. I guess for extra points na lang, pero sige, mamaya na yun. Kunin muna natin yung current, tapos mag-extra points tayo dito mamaya. Paano natin kukunin yung I total? So, yung I total natin, based on this circuit, I total, equal siya saan? Kunin mo yung S total mo. So, recommend ko, sige, store mo na nga siya sa value. Ano dito yung hindi pa natin nagagamit? Hindi pa pala tayo nagsistore ng value. Sige, store mo to as E. Para lang sure tayo. Store mo to as E. Okay. Or sige, ibahin ko yung kulay. Gawin kong purple. Store it as E. So, basically, E lang to. Kunin mo yung S total, tapos i-conjugate mo siya sa source natin na lang. Divide mo muna by 200, tapos i-conjugate mo. So, sa calcio ko, conjugate E over 200. Ang nakuha kong answer dito is, in polar form, 16.10 amperes at an angle of 1.505 degrees. Ito na yung I total natin. Okay, so basically, nakuha na natin yung two parts, no? We got the current of each load, which is yung tatlong green boxes na to. And then after that, yung total power natin, literally, pinag-add lang natin itong tatlo to get this. And to get the current supplied, which is yung nandito, ito na yun. Kinuha natin yung total power, dinagay natin siya dito, and then after that, kung dinivide natin siya by 200, and kinonjugate natin siya, again, conjugate is really important kapag current is solved, you're going to get this answer dito. Okay, ang sinasabi kong bonus points pala dito was, itong part na ito yung P mo. P is equal to 3220 watts. Tapos ito, yung reactive power mo na Q, equal siya sa negative 84.6 var. Negative 84.6 var. Pwede rin naman, 84.6 var, tapos lagay mo var capacitive. That's also valid. No? Pero sige. I'll just leave it like this so that mas clean yung solution natin. So, for recap, 3220 tapos negative J, 84.6. Then meron tayo ditong current na ganito. Okay, so ano yung general strategy dito? When you are given a word problem na ganito, you are not restricted to not draw the circuit. If it helps you visualize it, draw the circuit. Yan yung recommendation ko palagi. So that you know what you're trying to solve for, di ba? Ayun, tapos magsasolve tayo ng current, mas madali na siya i-visualize. Ito yung current na ito. Tapos parallel lang siya sa voltage na to. Ayun, madali na lang, di ba? Then after that, ayun, for total power, hindi siya ganito. Hindi siya product over sum, guys. Ang total power, it's always going to be the summation of everything. It doesn't matter kung series, it doesn't matter kung parallel, it's always going to be summation. Okay? And yung current supplied natin, literally, kunin mo lang yung S total, divide mo lang siya by the voltage. Tapos conjugate mo, yun. Alright, before tayo mag-proceed sa next problem na to, I want to discuss some extra theory. Yan. Transformers. Transformers yung, alam ko nasa movie siya, tapos may mga Autobots, tapos may mga Decepticons. Ang galing naman. Okay, sige. Ito yung model ng Transformer. I'm not even gonna add the dots anymore. Naalala ko nung inask ko siya sa prof ko dati when I was taking 1, 2, 3. Does it matter? Parang sabi niya, hindi masyado. No? Ang important lang talaga dito is, can you analyze your circuits, guys? Okay, so ano yung mga pwede natin makuha dito? Meron tayo dito ang current, IP. Meron tayo dito ang current at the secondary, IS. And meron tayo dito voltages. So medyo familiar pa naman. No? Voltage at the primary, tapos meron tayo dito voltage at the secondary. Okay, sa slides ng EEE, or pwede rin sa mga reference books, pwede nila to gawing I1, tapos ito I2. Personally, I don't like using this kasi medyo nawawala ako kapag puro numbers yung nakikita ko. Mas familiar ako dito kasi, okay, primary side to, tapos ito, secondary side. No, it's very straightforward. And then, meron tayo ditong turns at the primary ratioed with the turns at the secondary. No? Okay. So, when we are here, ano yung mga pwede natin makuha ang formulas? Start muna tayo dito. When you take the ratio of the primary and secondary turns, ito siya. Ano siya, equal siya saan? Equal siya sa voltage ng primary over the voltage of the secondary. So, ito dito, tapos ito dito. Ayan, ganyan siya. Now, if it's voltage, okay, very important to. If it's voltage, kung primary yung taas, primary yun yung taas. Secondary baba, secondary baba. Okay, matchy-matchy siya. Okay, wala yung invert. Next, kapag meron tayo ditong currents naman, ano relationship niya with the turns? Yung, ito naman. The current at the secondary over the current at the primary is equal to NP over NS. Very important to. Kapag current, kung secondary na sa taas, dapat primary na sa taas na turns. Yung primary dito, dapat secondary to. So basically, yung P's nandito, yung S nandito, nagka-cross siya. Dapat opposite siya. Do not get this wrong, guys, kasi magiging mali yung computations mo if not. So again, ang sanity check ko dito, for voltages, same. Same lang siya. Kung nasa taas to, nasa taas to. Tapos kung currents naman, dapat nasa baba yung isa kapag isa nasa taas. Alright? Very, very straightforward naman, no? Okay, next. Ano pa yung mga next na pwede natin gawin? Paano naman yung relationship ng impedances? How can we get it from this? Naalala ko, dinerive ko ito during the 1, 2, 3 review session, no? Okay, same lang naman ang idea, guys. Ang ginawa ko lang doon was N1 over N2, N1 over N2. Pero ngayon, I'm gonna use primary and secondary notation. So, start muna tayo dito. If you take this part here, itong term na to, bagsak mo siya dito. So, meron kang VP over VS. Now, what if minultiply mo siya dito? No? Multiply ko lang siya dito. I'll multiply it with this ratio here. So, IS over IP. Pwede rin naman, itong IS, lalagay ko sa baba nito. So, 1 over IP over IS. So, I'm gonna write it like that. 1 over IP, wait lang. So, lakihan ko lang. IP over IS. Does this look familiar? Itong part na ito, this is just ZP. Right? ZP lang siya. And then, ano naman yung part na ito? VP over IP is an impedance. Okay, voltage over current is an impedance. So ngayon, VS over IS is the impedance ng secondary. So that means ZP over ZS siya. Now, since minultiply lang natin ito at ito, VP is equal to NP over NS. So ito siya. Dito siya. Tapos, minultiply natin siya nito, which is also NP over NS. So that means, this is NP squared, this is NS squared. Nakuha na natin yung ratio. So this is gonna be NP over NS squared is equal to ZP, or the impedance at the primary plus the impedance of the secondary. And so these are now your transformer equations. You're gonna be using this every time you see a transformer. Yan. Ano pa yung mga pwede natin makuha dito? Ito. Ano yung power natin sa left side versus the right side? You cannot create energy out of thin air. So basically, kung ano yung energy dito sa left side, that's also the energy at the right side. So that means yung power natin, or yung complex power natin sa left side, the complex power at the primary is equal to the complex power at the secondary. So ito yung fourth equation mo. Okay, medyo nakaka-overwhelm siya. Yes, puro letters lang nito. Tapos ito letters, tapos ito letters. Okay, that's why I always include examples sa mga videos ko so that we can actually apply the theory, no? So ito na yung magiging example natin for our transformer problem. We have here turns ratio of 3 and 4. May mga impedances tayo dito. Ang hahanapin lang natin dito is yung output voltage, yung current na ito, tas yung total power supplied na naka-complex form. Sige? Let's attack this problem. Ito, pwede i-specify sa exam ito. Sinasabi nila refer to secondary. The sister concept is refer to primary. Okay, so kung ganito, you are forced to lipat everything to just one side. Sometimes, if hindi specify, you have the freedom to choose. So kung wala ito, I can choose na ilalagay ko lahat dito or ilalagay ko lahat doon. Now, since sinabi, refer to secondary, wala, I'm forced. Pipilitin ako na isa lang yung solution ko. Ito, kailangan ko siya ilipat dito sa secondary side. Okay, this is the primary side, this is the secondary side. Everything here has to be converted here. And to do that, I'm gonna be using these formulas here. Okay? So, sige. Start muna tayo dito. In a blank paper, wala kang formula sheet. So, let's derive everything from scratch. NP over NS is equal to V over V. Again, kung voltages, kung primary sa taas, primary sa taas. So, secondary dito. Okay. Ano yung NP natin? Ang NP natin is ito. Ito yung primary side, tapos ito yung secondary side. So, ito yung primary, ito yung secondary. So, that's equal to 3 over 4. So, pwede tayo dito mag-cross multiply, no? So, 4 times 3, 4, VS times 3. So, ano to? 4 VP is equal to 3 VS. Correct? Now, if kinuha natin yung VS, it's just equal to 4/3 ng VP. Okay? Now, kung galing tayo dito, kunin na natin yung ZS. Ang shortcut ko dito is, kung ano yung expression mo dito, is-square mo lang siya. So, this is 4 squared, which is 16. 3 squared is 9. So, that means this is 16 over 9 ZS. Right? So, ito yung gagamitin ko for my conversions. Now, isa-isayin natin siya. We need to move everything to the secondary. Kaya yung S yung in-isolate ko kasi kailangan ko ilipat lahat ito dito. No? Start muna tayo dito, si VS. Kunin natin itong voltage na primary. So, ito siya. And kailangan natin siya i-multiply ng 4/3. So, multiply mo to na 4 over 3. Ano to? 400 over 3. So, yun yung first step na gagawin ko. 403, ano yung angle niya? Ang angle niya is 2 degrees. Ayun. Next, ano yung pwede natin gawin? I'm gonna create some extra space dito. Kunin natin yung impedance na to, 2 plus J3. Ano ulit ginagawa kapag impedance? Sige. Kung impedance siya, squared. Okay, very important na square siya. Naka-squared siya ng turns ratio natin. So, ito, meron kang ZS, which is this. Lalagay mo siya dito. I-multiply mo to ng 16 over 9 so that you can move it to the right side. No? So, basically, ano to? 16 over 9 ng 2 plus J3. So, kung distribute natin siya, meron tayo ditong 32, no? Tapos ito, 16 over 9 times 3. So, basically, may 3 na lang na may iwan dito. Okay. Ang makukuha ko dito is 32 over 9 plus J 16 over 3. Alright, ito yung impedance natin dito. Nalinipat na natin to the right side. Naglalagay ako dito ng dot just to give myself a sanity check. Dito yung symmetry ng transformer. So, nandito siya. Okay, next is, paano naman ito? Nasa secondary side na siya eh. So, we don't really need to transform anything here. No? They're all in secondary form na. So, literally, copy-paste as is. So, meron tayo ditong 4 minus J6. So, meron tayo ditong 5 plus J7. Wait lang, 5 plus J7. Alright. So, Aaron, these values are starting to look very scary, no? Madami na siyang terms. Again, when it starts looking complicated, the best strategy is to use storing. Yes, we need to store our variables. So, basically, itong part na ito, gawin na natin tong A. No? Ito, gawin na natin to B. Tapos ito, gawin na natin to C. Dapat pala snorkerin ito. Sige, I'm just gonna choose anything, I guess. Isa-store ko na lang ito as F. So basically, ito, itatype ko to sa calculator, tapos isa-store ko siya to A. Itatype ko to sa calculator, store ko to B. Step by step pa siya, guys. So, sabayin ko na lang kayo dito sa part na ito. So, 32 over 9 plus J times 16 over 3. So, meron tayo ditong A. Meron ako dito 400 over 3 at an angle of 2. So, isa-store ko to as F. Tapos meron ako ditong B. Nandito na ako store. 4 minus J times 6, store as B. Okay, and then after that, meron ako dito 5 plus J7. Tapos i-store ko siya as C. Okay, so meron ako dito for variables. Ano na ang pwede natin gawin dito? Okay, so notice na, lang kung gin-round ko lang itong tatlo. Itong part na ito, this is just two loads in parallel, correct? So basically, pwede ko siya store as one variable. Ano yung equivalent impedance nito? So meron tayo ditong D is equal to product over sum, no? So B times C, tapos ito B plus C. So, ayun, i-plug mo lang talaga ito sa calculator. So, B over C, ito, B, C, B plus C. Okay, for intermediate steps na lang, gagawin ko na lang ito, 278 over 41 minus J 40 over 41. Now, isa-store ko to as T. Now, medyo madaming stuff yun na nandito ngayon, no? So, sige, try nga natin siya i-simplify into a circuit form. So, meron tayo ditong F na voltage. Meron tayo ditong load na A. And then after that, nung kinombine na natin itong dalawang loads in parallel, naging D na lang siya. So, basically, ito na lang yun. Ayan. This is all at the secondary. Nakalimutan ko pala i-specify. At secondary. Ayan. So, ito yan. Okay. We already combined both of these loads in parallel. And then, ito. Store mo na siya into D, guys. Gagamitin na natin ito sa computations natin. Ang gusto natin i-solve dito first is, what is the output voltage? Which is ito. So, basically, if you are given two loads in series, ano yung circuit analysis technique that will help us get V out? Okay? Ang gagamitin ko dito is voltage divider. Pwede rin naman siguro nodal, pero mas matagal yun. I'm gonna use voltage divider. So basically, yung V out natin dito equal siya sa yung source natin na F, kasi mo-multiply natin siya sa resistance of interest. So basically, since yung V out natin nandito, resistance of interest natin is D, tapos ang summation ng dalawang loads natin is A plus D. So yun lang yun. So may D ka dito, tapos may D ka dito. Tapos mag-add ka ng A dito. Okay? So i-evaluate mo ito sa calculator mo. So F times D, tapos D plus A. Alright, naka-rectangular yung sagot ko. So gagawin ko siyang phasor form. Okay. So ang nakuha kong answer dito is, wait lang, maling pen pa lang gamit ko. Okay. V out ko is equal to 81.42. Alright, since voltage ang sinusolve natin, volts dapat to. No? Tapos ang angle ko is negative 29.04 degrees. Alright. Question, is this our final answer? Pwede mo naman siya i-convert to time domain. I'm gonna leave that up to you. Pero, tama ba yung magnitude natin? Ito, sige, pag-isipin natin. Since nasa secondary yung circuit natin, linipat natin lahat from the left side to the right side. We are at secondary. And, since ang output voltage natin is also placed at the secondary, as is na siya. We don't need to do any extra conversions. This is already your final answer. So, valid na siya as your V out. So, ito yung V out natin. Ayun. Okay, so ang next na is-solve natin dito is going to be II. Medyo madami palang gagawin natin dito ah. Sige. I'll just do a quick break. Okay. Paano natin makukuha yung II dito? Start muna tayo with this. We can get a current here by using Ohm's law, no? So, dalawa yan. Either F over A plus D, that is 1. Another one is, pwede rin naman V out over D. That's also valid. Ito na lang gagamitin ko. Para mas madali sa akin. So, basically, meron ako ditong F. Wait lang. Bago pala tayo pumunta doon. Sige. Sorry, my bad. Kunin na natin yung current na ito. I is equal to F over A plus D. So, type mo lang ito sa calculator. Tapos pala sinusulat ko to. So, meron tayo dito I at the secondary. So, IIS is equal to F A plus D. So, ano yung makukuha kong answer dito? F A plus D. Naka-rectangular. I'm gonna convert it to polar. Alright, so may nakuha kong answer dito. 11.88 since current siya, amperes, at an angle of negative 20.86 degrees. Ito, recommend ko i-store mo to as a variable. So I'm just gonna store it as E. Yan. Store mo na siya as E. Question, Aaron, is this our answer? So sabihin natin nandito tayo. Ang na-solve natin is yung current na ganito. So this is ganitong value. And then, ito yung secondary current natin. Yan ba yung input current natin na II? Check natin yung circuit ng maigi. So, meron tayo dito primary side. Meron tayo dito secondary side. Ang sinolve natin na current na IIS is found at the secondary side. No, nasa secondary tayo. So, that means, even if naka-series ngayon yung components natin, technically, kulang yung magnitude niya. Kailangan pa natin i-convert yung current natin from the secondary side to the primary side. No? So yun yung reason kung ba't maglalagay sila ng restriction na ganito. Is iti-test nila is kaya mo ba gumamit ng conversions. No? So meron tayo na solve na current sa secondary. Ang goal natin is to find the current at the primary. So paano yan? Balikan ulit natin yung basics natin. Sige. Meron tayo dito NP over NS. Equal siya saan? Current ratio siya, di ba? To. Kung primary yung sa taas, dapat dito baliktad. Secondary to. Tapos yung primary nandito sa baba. Equal siya saan? Ang turns natin is, yung primary natin is 3, then 4. So, 3 over 4 siya. Is ito? 3 over 4. So, 3 over 4 siya na pag ganito. Okay. So, mag-cross multiply lang tayo. That's gonna give us 4IS is equal to 3IP. No? And then, ano ulit yung goal? We are at the secondary. At ang input current natin is nasa primary. So, gusto natin i-isolate si P. So that means, ang IP natin is equal to, IP, hindi ba address yun? Okay, ang IP natin is equal to 4/3 ng IS. Okay? So, kunin na natin yung input current natin. Ang II natin na official, yung input current natin na sa primary, ito siya, equal lang siya sa 4/3 multiplied sa IS natin na sinolve natin dito, na E. So, lagay mo lang yan. 4/3 ng IIS. So, basically, 4/3 ng E, no? 4/3 ng E. Kaya pinapastore ko yung value na yun kanina. So, 4/3 ng E. Ano yung magiging answer na ito in polar form? Ito. Equal siya sa 15.84 amperes at an angle of negative 20.86 degrees. Negative 86.86 degrees. Okay? So, this is our answer for yung input current na legit. No? Dahil nalipat na natin yung, nalipat na natin ito from the primary to the, from the secondary, linipat na natin siya to the primary. So, pwede mo siya i-visualize na meron tayong nakuhang current dito na IIS. Linipat na natin siya to the secondary. Yun na yung input current natin na legit. So, that means, ito na yung answer natin for this number. This is gonna be 15.84 amperes at this angle. No? Yun. Now, ang final na i-ask dito is, what is the total power being supplied? Okay, so this is starting to be a little tricky, no? Sige, we are still using this circuit, no? So I'm just gonna reuse this na lang. Ano yung pwede natin gawin so that we can get the total power supplied? Firstly is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter kung nag-solve ka sa secondary or nag-solve ka sa primary. Kung linipat mo ito dito or linipat mo ito dito, by concept, you cannot create energy out of thin air. So that means kung ano yung power mo sa right side, yun din yung power mo sa left side. So ilalagay ko dun yung equality na yun. Ang SS natin, ang S to the primary, kung maayos ng sulat ko, ang S natin sa primary is equal to the S sa secondary. No? Very important yan. So ano yung pwede natin makuha dito? Yung voltage natin dito, no? Nasa secondary to, no? At secondary. Meron tayo dito na solve na IS. Ang IS natin was IS, which is E. So, palitan ko na lang siya as E. Ito yung F natin, kung nakalimutan mo kung ano yung value na to. Ito yung 400/3. Ito siya. So, I guess pwede ko rin siya ilagay dito. 400/3 angle 2. Yan. If I want to get yung supplied power natin, itong IS na in series lang naman, technically, ang IIS natin is nandito rin. No? I can do a computation sa primary or sa secondary and I will get exactly the same power. So basically, I don't need to do any transformations. Hindi ko na need gumamit ng parang IP over IS na over NP na ganun, no? I can just get the power here as is and yun na rin yung magiging final answer ko. So sige, gawin nga natin yun. Ang power natin is defined as power is equal to voltage times current na conjugated, no? Okay. So, ano yung magiging answer natin dito? The S supplied is equal to yung voltage natin from the source, since ito yung input natin, lalagay ko lang dito is F. So, this is gonna be F. Tapos, i-multiply ko siya sa conjugate ng current natin. So, yung voltage, conjugated na current na IIS, which is, stinor natin siya as E, lalagay natin siya dito. No? Okay, so ang dami natin sinor na values, no? It's all coming full circle. Kung pinlagyan natin ito sa calculator natin, F times the conjugate ng E, ang makukuha kong answer dito is 1460 plus J65 J615.7 volt amperes, no? And since positive ito, pwede mo sabihin na inductive siya. inductive. Yun. Now, for extra points, sige, ano yung real power and ano yung imaginary power niya or reactive power niya. Literally, kunin mo lang yung rectangular form niya, huwag mo siya gawing phasor. Rectangular form, yung may J dito. Kung ano yung real part, yan yung real power mo. Kung ano yung imaginary part, that is your reactive power. So, yun. P natin is equal to, sige, lagay ko dito S. P natin is equal to 1460 watts. Tapos yung Q natin is equal to 615.7 bars leading or lagging. And kung positive ito, this is lag. So, it's an inductor. Inductor siya. Ayun. Pwede mo ilagay inductive, pwede mo ilagay leading. It's all the same idea. It's all under an inductor, no? And then pwede na natin ito i-box as our final answer dito. Wow, ang haba talaga ng item na yun. Okay, so we have here the power being supplied here is equal to this. Tapos meron tayo dito ang current na 15.84. Meron tayo dito V out na 81.42. Okay, balik tayo sa original strategy natin. When you are given a transformer circuit like this, the goal is to identify sino yung mga pwede mo ilipat. Since pinecify lipat to secondary, everyone here needs to go to the right side and you need to use these conversions, no? So once kinonvert mo na siya, pwede mo na siya rewrite as this one circuit here, connected as one, no? Now, from here, standard circuit analysis na lang siya. Meron ako dito nakitang two loads in parallel. So, ginawa ko siya D. Store values is the meta dito sa unit na ito. And then after that, nung sinimplify ko siya, meron na lang ako ditong simple series voltage division. So, nakuha ko yung V out by voltage division. It's this. Then after that, meron tayo ditong input IS, which is ito. Naging ganyan siya. And then, ito. Since nasa secondary tayo nagsosolve, at the secondary, and yung input natin is sa primary, I had to do an extra conversion. So, yung current ko sa secondary, minultiply ko pa siya ng ratio na to, 4/3, so that I can get the current sa primary side, which is yung II natin na legit, which is ito. Then after that, it doesn't matter kung nasa secondary or primary side ka, basta may na-compute kang power, that's also your power na supplied, that's also your power na being absorbed. So, ito yung total power supplied. Ayan. And kung ano yung real part, yun yung real power. Ano yung imaginary part, yun yung reactive power. So, yeah. Medyo nakaka-overwhelm ang unit na ito. Medyo gets naman talaga yun. Ang dami niyang letters. Yung mga solutions natin dito, nagiging letter-letter na lang siya, no? Yeah. Recommend ko just do it slowly, no? Ano pa yung mga common pitfalls dito? Ayan, nakakalimutan nila yung square, yung sa turns ratio kapag impedances. Don't get that wrong. Nakakalimutan ito yung conjugate. Naalala ko, may mga squeeze participants rin na nakalimutan mag-conjugate nito. So even in a national competition, no, nakakalimutan nito. So please, don't forget that. Ano pa? Ayan, VRMS, literally, ito lang siya. As is na siya. Wala ka na need i-divide by square root of 2. Plug and play lang yan. Okay? Ayun, power triangles, very important. Ito siya. Apparent power is this, yung hypotenuse, to ito real power, to ito reactive power. Basta yung imaginary side. Plus siya kapag lagging or inductive, tapos minus siya kapag leading or capacitive. No? Basically, ito siya. Then, ito. Ayan, standard circuit analysis only happens if ginawa mo yung conversions from the time domain versus the F domain. And then, oh my God guys, very important. Please, dapat kaya nyo talaga gumawa ng conversions na to on the spot. Okay? Kasi you'll always be doing these conversions. Rectangular to polar, polar to rectangular. Yan. And then ito, yung pinaka heart and soul ng unit. When you have a time domain circuit, convert it to frequency domain. And then after that, mag-reversal ka to time domain. Napansin nyo na sa mga later parts hanggang dito na lang yung mga solutions natin. So, pinaspecify naman kasi ng prof if you need to bring it back to the time domain or not, no? So, ayun. Minsan sasabihin nila kahit yung phasor form sapat na. Full credit siya, di ba? Okay, so that's about it. Hopefully makatulong yung video na ito sa pag-review nyo sa second unit ng 1, 2, 3. Medyo hindi pa rin ako sanay kasi yung unit 2 dati was the electronic section. Tapos yung AC power na ito ay yung final unit. I'm not sure what would change sa batch average if that became the case, pero hopefully makatulong pa rin yung vid na ito sa pag-prepare nyo sa exam na ito. So, malaking good luck guys sa exam nyo sa April 13.